Hello friends, I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. I hope everything in your world is fine. You know what? It's not very often that I treat myself to a $4 cup of coffee. But when I do, it's usually Dunkin Donuts. I happen to live in one of the towns in America that does not have a Starbucks. We have no Starbucks here. We have essentially Dunkin Donuts that has only been open for, I think, since the summer. We have one actual coffee place, like you have a real barista, McDonald's and all that crap. So Dunkin Donuts is my choice for a latte when I can't get a latte anywhere else. And honestly, if I have a choice between Dunkin Donuts latte and a Starbucks latte, I would choose a Dunkin Donuts latte 100% of the time. But they have the worst sleeves on the planet. These things do not, it's like they put no glue on here to hold these together. I don't understand what the deal with that is, but whatever. It's a latte. It's like late o'clock. It's actually 8 o'clock, and I'm just now getting home. There's been like 2 inches of snow. I haven't had proper dinner yet, so I was like, you know what? I am going to have a latte tonight. So I got one. This weekend project, of course, I told you that I was hoping to do a project over the weekend, but some of the parts didn't show up. They showed up yesterday on Martin Luther King Day. I didn't realize that the United States Post Office was going to run Amazon shipments on Martin Luther King Day, but here we are, some LEDs. I was waiting for these. These are much different. The last time I bought LEDs, if you go way back on the channel, I made like a ring light for a monitor. And then I was working on when I very first, I don't even know where the rest of the box is. When I very first got the 3D printer, I was working on a box light, like a little light that I could carry around with me, be able to hook it on the camera. And I modeled it all before I ever had the lights, and then come to find out that the modeling dimensions are actually not ideal for these lights. But it was a good exercise. It's just like one of the first things I modeled in Fusion, and there was a case and all this stuff. So I'm revisiting that design. That was essentially what I was going to print this weekend. I've completely redesigned it to have a two-part case with an internal part like this that'll hold the lights, and I even modeled a battery compartment. I hope that all works out. So the printer is upstairs running right now, trying to get these parts all done before the weekend so that I can actually do a video on making a portable LED light. You know, I have portable LED lights. I have this guy, which is actually, well, it must be going dead because it's way brighter than it looks like on camera right now. This is like a work light under the hood kind of thing. Love this guy. I have LED flashlights, but I really was looking for something to kind of, almost that I could use like a key and or fill light or whatever. If I'm out filming something, I can just pull this thing out, have a nice little key light. That was the project. Like I said, I wasn't aware Amazon was running yesterday. Now I have, I got my filament. I can print it. I have this. I have everything I need except for screws, which I was kind of digging through this little bin here of screws, of miscellaneous junk, and there's not a whole lot of, I was hoping to find a lot of laptop screws. Laptop screws are usually like M2.5, little tiny screws, and that's what I was hoping to use on this. That's what I modeled the project for. So I went to the hardware store today, and their selection of tiny metric screws, of course I live in the US, their selection of tiny metric screws is terrible. So I had to order some screws. So I guess I'm technically waiting on screws, but if I get the thing done and the screws don't show up, I have laptops, I'll just tear one apart, and like old laptops, I'll just tear one apart and steal the screws out of it. But that's what that is. Yeah, man, I honestly had something to talk about today, and then I got sidetracked by my coffee. I love coffee, and I haven't eaten, and it's late, so I'm just gonna go do that. Thank you for being here, as always. Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, being my friends. Thank thank you for just being awesome. Hopefully tomorrow I'll have something to talk about. I'll see you later.
Hey, Doc, wait! I want to ask you something.
Today's random fact comes from kimforkids.com. What makes something acidic or basic? When a hydrogen ion is released, the solution becomes acidic. When a hydroxide ion is released, the solution becomes basic. These two special ions determine whether you are looking at an acid or a base. For example, vinegar is also called acetic acid. So it's all about hydrogen ions. And hydroxide, which is hydrogen oxygen. It's an oxidizer. That's what makes it an acid. It means it makes things rust.